Hello, I am Ragnarok, and welcome to the Reckoning. So today we're going to be taking a look at automatic stations in the Age of Calamitous mod for Conan Exiles the game. Basically, there are certain crafting stations in the regular Conan Exiles that when you place them, you don't have to do anything. You literally just place them down, and they automatically generate some kind of resource. The Age of Calamitous mod added a good amount of them that actually craft some pretty useful stuff, especially end game. So we're gonna go over that, what the stations are, and then what they craft. So let's take a look. Okay, so the first station we're gonna take a look at is the crab trap and the fishing stand. So the crab trap is learned in your feats in the survival tab, and it's learned as fisherman's friend. You learn that at level 30, and there's your 2 items right there. In order to make it, you just go to your handcraft right here, crab trap, 15 shaped oak wood. So in the crab trap, it spawns in crabs, fish, and oyster. Now these aren't the same type of crabs that spawn in the regular vanilla station. You can't cook these and cook these to make cooked crab and stuff like that. So they're a little different. You can put these in the fluid press to get some mats out of them. Same with all 3 of them. Among other things. So in order to make the fishing stand, you actually craft that inside the crab trap. That's one thing a lot of people get really confused about. They're like, where do I craft this? They go into their menu and they can't find it. So you go into the crab trap, you click it, you put in 48 shaped oak wood, 15 steel reinforcements, hit craft, boom, you get it there, and you place it over here. Now the fishing stand is I actually really like it because I like what it looks like. It's very unique. It looks really cool in the water. Now as far as this, you can get oyster, fish, and crabs, just like the other one, but you can also get the unappetizing fish, savory, and exotic fish, the unappetizing, savory, and exotic shellfish, which are the regular non-modded fish and shellfish. So you pretty much get all the types of fish, whether it's non-modded or modded. So the next stations we're going to look at are the goat corral, the kudu corral, the ostrich corral, the rabbit, and reptile corrals, the silkworm pen, and the reptile terrarium. I know it's a lot, but we'll take a look at them one at a time. So this is the goat corral. In there, you can get dung and exquisite meat, as you can see. You can also make milk. The kudu corral, which I believe is this one, yes. You can get savory flesh, thick hide, and dun. So it's kind of nice for the thick hide. Over time, make a bunch of these. Just an easy way of getting it. Especially early game, or if you have your base like somewhere around where, like, if you have your base like say here on the beginning river, where there's not a lot of creatures that have thick hide. The ostrich corral gives you egg, surprise, egg, feather, and dun. So dun, egg, surprise, and feather. Next one would be the rabbit corral. There you go. And that gives us savory flesh, hide, and dun. So regular hide this time around. After that would be the reptile corral, which would be this nice massive one over here. This one's kind of nice because it does a lot of the work for you. You can get exotic flesh, leather, thick leather, reptile hide, and dun. It's kind of nice because you actually get the leathers without actually having to put them in the tannery bench. So it's just another way to get some of that. And then reptile hide, obviously. The exotic flesh is nice for a lot of the meals. Let's see. Silkworm pen would be next. And the silkworm pen is another... Actually, they're pretty much all nice. I keep saying it's another one that's nice, but they're pretty much all nice. The main reason is I don't really care about the fat grubs, but you get gossamer from it. So fat grubs and gossamer from the silkworm pen, that's very useful because obviously or not obviously, if you don't play the game that much or you're new to the game, but gossamer makes silk. So the reptile terrarium, the only thing it crafts is bone meal. So, in which I'd probably say this is one of the least useful ones. It does look pretty cool though. It's a nice decoration, but bone meal is pretty easy to get bone and turn it into bone meal. So, and the way you would learn all of those is in your feats menu, and you go right here, farmer, and there's your rabbit, kudu, ostrich, reptile, and we'll scroll down, goat. and the terrarium, and the animal corral. Okay, so the next one we're going to show is the Lumbermill. This one, again, is very useful if you're in an area that doesn't have a lot of trees. You can make a couple of these, and they're not too hard to make. But basically, the feats menu. Let's go. Of course, I forget which one it is. Yep, there you go. So in the forestry worker right here at level 20, you can make yourself the Lumbermill. So, and is that the Lumbermill is handcrafted? As you can see, it takes a good amount of mats, though. The one downside, or not downside, but it does take chromium reinforcements, which means you're gonna have to find yourself some black ice before you can craft this. So it is not something you're gonna be able to make too early, but it is nice for if you're built in an area that doesn't have a lot of trees. Main reason is because you go into it, gives you wood. And next we have the resource mine, the grand resource mine, and the legendary resource mine. So these, you can kind of think of these kind of like the fish trap. You make the basic one, and then you make the next one inside the basic one. And then the last one, which is behind me, you make inside the previous one. So you have to start with this one. Again, this feat is... It would be... There you go. This one. Prospect of Wealth. Level 20. To create the basic one... Not too bad. All these are going to take a lot of onyx, which early game's not really crazy easy to get. It will take some time to get to the highest tier one, but you can do it with a little bit of grinding. So the regular one, or the tier one, will give you stone, ironstone, and coal. So another really good way to get a bunch of ironstone. And, oh, go back, sorry. The tier 2 one is made inside of it, 1200 onyx, 120 shaped oak wood. The tier 2 one makes stone, ironstone, coal, silverstone, brimstone, tin ore, and copper ore, as you can see. So a really good way to get some copper, tin, and silver. Brimstone, actually, it's kind of nice with the brimstone, too. There's some easy ways to get brimstone in the game, but it is useful. And then the last one is the legendary resource mine, which takes 5,000 onyx. You'll be grinding for that one. And it also takes 50 amethyst, which, again, you'll be grinding for that. 75 shaped oak wood, that easy. Now, this one, we're just going to run around it real quick. This one's massive. I mean, they're all pretty big. You're going to need a lot of land for this. The cool thing is the Age of Calamitous structures you can clip, as you can see with that tree. So you can kind of clip it. You can kind of clip it into a mountainside, pretty much up to this entrance. So you could essentially put this into a side of a mountain if you build near like a big hill or mountain or something like that, and obscure all of it or majority of it, and it will kind of fit more with like the look instead of being this just big thing on a plot of land. But anyways, as far as what it has, this one pretty much has everything. So you're going to get your stone, ironstone, coal, silverstone, brimstone, tin ore, copper ore, cobalt ore, very useful, Ivory ore, and then you get the gems. So the uncut ruby, sapphire, emerald, and topaz, and you also get goldstone. I utilize this one probably majority for the goldstone itself. Obviously, the gems are really nice too, but the biggest thing for me is the cobalt, gold, and the gems, but cobalt and gold being the two big ones, for alchemical base for that one, and for chromium reinforcements for this one. So it's pretty nice to make. The other really cool thing about it here is you can actually, if you get yourself a nice little gold coin, grind the game a lot, or however you would get yourself a bunch of gold coins, you can trade a gold coin in for an amethyst, a diamond, or for onyx. So let's take a quick look at let's see how many onyx we get for one. This is gonna take a while. Let's just do 1, 1, and 1. And let's take a look at how much it gives us for one gold coin, because those are not even. I mean, a diamond is definitely more valuable than amethyst, and amethyst is more valuable than onyx, at least on a 1-to-1 ratio. So, ooh, look at that. That gives us a lot. Shoot, I don't remember how much onyx was actually in here previously, but let's just assume there was, I mean, everything else is like 50, so let's just assume there was like 50 in here. So I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2, 4, 6. So 6,500, we'll just say. I mean, it's probably less than that. I don't remember. You can probably rewind the video a little bit and see how much onyx I actually had prior to doing this, but that's a lot. And then for the diamond, looks like we get 4 diamond. That's actually a considerable amount. Considering that every endgame piece of armor takes 1 diamond, you would almost have a full set. And then you get 30 amethyst, which again is pretty considerable. So yeah, that's actually a pretty good amount. So if you find yourself having a lot of gold coins, if you're at the end game where you just don't need the coins for anything else, or you're selling a lot of stuff to the merchants, or whatever. Gold coins, you don't need anything else for it. There you go. All right, and next is the Watermill. Watermill. Mill. It's mill, but anyways, the Watermill. So from the Watermill, you're going to get bucket of water and bone. So, pretty useful. Let's see. So that's what the bucket of water looks like. And bone, the way you get the Watermill is in your feats. And it's going to be in the farmer. The farmers actually comes with a lot of the automatic stations. Way at the bottom-ish, or maybe it's in the middle. Not even close, towards the top. Actually, the next 3 we're going to look at. So I'll just say it here so I don't have to come back here. You have your Watermill, you have your Windmill, and your improvised Windmill. So there you go. And they are handcrafted. Well, the Watermill is. So the Watermill, 2,500 shaped oak wood, easy. 4,250 scorched thatch, easy-ish. And then the last 2 stations are the improvised Windmill. I don't know why I keep saying meal. And the Windmill. So improvised and the Windmill. So this, again, is kind of like the crab trap and the resource mines. The basic one, you're going to make in your inventory right here with 60 oak wood, 25 shaped oak wood. And you're going to go in there, and that's where you'll make your the bigger one, which is 2,500 shaped oak wood and 4,250 scorched thatch. So the improvised one gives you bucket of water. So another way to get bucket of water. The big one gives you bucket of water and resin. So pretty useful. The buckets of water are useful in a couple different Age of Calamitous specific things. And then the resin, obviously, building is one of the biggest things you can use resin for. So it is nice to have another way of getting resin. I do believe that's one of the, in my opinion, that is one of the harder ones to get. It's not crazy hard to get resin, but it's at the same time in mass quantities. It's not as easy as a lot of the other things you need for building. Okay, so that was a automatic crafting station overview for the Age of Calamitous mod on Conan Exiles. Hopefully you found it informative. A lot of these stations are very, very useful early game, the ones you can craft early game. And pretty much as soon as you can craft them, I would say a lot of them I would craft, even if they give you small amounts of leather or gossamer, or there's better ways to get brimstone than the resource mines. Having these items, you know, you can leave them if you don't play the game for an entire weekend, or whatever on an online server, or you know, you play even like once every like 2 days, you will come back and you will see a considerable amount of resources inside these stations. And if you aren't building for a while, for example, for the Lumbermill, if you're not building for, you know, you're playing the game and you're just leveling and stuff like that for 4 or 5 days, and then you're like, oh, I want to start building my next structure. You go into your Lumbermill right there below me, and you're going to have a lot of wood in there, which will, it's free wood you had. You didn't have to do anything you didn't have to sit and get your axe out and chop trees for an hour or 20 minutes or whatever. It's free wood. So these items, some of them do give you items that can take a considerable amount of time to gather, and a couple others they give you pretty easy items, but it is, like I said, still free. So hopefully this was helpful. If you did find it helpful, feel free to hit that like button. It does really help out the channel. If you have any questions or you know, suggestions or anything, like, hey, you know, how do you get this? How do you do that? You know, I didn't see the stats on this. Feel free to leave in the comment section below. I do read all the comments. Hit that subscribe button so you get notified. We do have a bunch of videos coming out soon, currently in the works, and I wouldn't want you to miss any of the videos. So hit that subscribe button so you can get notified the second they get dropped. And we also do stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/RagnarrockLive, RagnarrockLive. I can't even say my own name. And we have a Discord channel. Links for both are in the description below. And as always, I really do appreciate you guys and gals. And remember, fear the reckoning.